And today's special word is vibration. Vibration. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to episode 50. I've made it to the big 50, episode 50 of Ben's Camera Show. And this is the last episode of season 5. And I will be taking a little break after this in order to generate enough material for season 6. So this will be the last one for a while. It will not be my last live stream for a while. I might carry on doing that on some other related subjects, and it won't be my last foray into camera stuff either. It's just that the next month I'm going to be extremely busy, and this camera show has been taking up so much time and so much material that I am running dry. And as you know, I am not one to force out an episode just because it's Thursday. Nope, I will continue to keep the quality high and myself high as well. So let's carry on. Let's start off with camera show number 50. Yay! And we've got an amazing show tonight because I've got a lot of cool stuff to show you, a lot of stuff which I've been holding off to the end of the season. And because it's the 50th anniversary, I will be doing a giveaway. Hooray! I've finally going to be giving back to my loyal viewers. Yes. So stay tuned for an amazing camera giveaway. I am getting distracted by myself behind me there, so let's just switch that off. And oh, what's this? Let me get into my side thing. Oh, look at this. Another thing I've been going to be busy with for the next month or so is getting my live show together. That's my show of all my own material, and it's going to be on November the 13th. And it's called No Off Switch, the peculiar competency of Ben Slotover. It's the first live show I've ever done of just all my stuff solo. So very exciting there. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be in London, and it's going to be part of the My Eyes strand of shows, which is run by Clive, who's a great geezer, and he finally asked me to do mine. So get a ticket. The link to the tickets is in the description below. In fact, I've done my homework this time. I've done all sorts of links and info in the description, so I might be referring to it here and there throughout the show. A whole bunch of people in the chat already. Oh, this is typical. I finally get some real traction going with the shows, and then I'm gonna beg off for a couple of months while I get some more stuff to show you. Remjet's in the house, Noptop. I mean, probably a bunch of you who aren't even commenting. This side towards screen, old radios. Oh yes, the old faces and some new ones as well. So anyway, what else can I tell you to start the show off? A bit of housekeeping here, as well as the My Eyes show. I will be tomorrow. I will be in Hastings with the Exploding Cinema, my old mates who I've talked about many times before. We show a program of short films. People send them in, we show them, and we light up the whole room with projections and stuff. It's a wonderful evening. It's going to be in Hastings tomorrow, and back in London on the 23rd of November. So there's that to look forward to as well. I'll probably come on and leading up to the 23rd November show and give you another little reminder of that. So, what did I do the last week? Well, let me put myself back on the big screen there. There we go, because no one else will. This week, I got ill. Funnily enough, there's a lurgy going around London, and unfortunately, it was my turn to get it. Yes, that's right. Luckily it wasn't that long. I started off with a sore throat, And the next day I felt a bit more crappy, sore throat, then a cough, and then a runny nose, then a cold, and then a cough again. Just all the symptoms just lined up, took their turns in kicking my ass. So luckily I'm feeling 100% better now, and I will be on my way to Hastings tomorrow. Hope you're all feeling all right. So tonight, what else did I do? I've got notes here tonight because I've got so much to get to. I'm going to be referring to notes here. Well, I went to an exhibition of classic art, and in the exhibition they had a one booth. Let me get this out of the way. They had a booth which had this guy, and he was fixing and cleaning up old watches. And I'm not a watch person. I don't even wear one. I do have an old watch. I was just given by my grandpa, but I don't wear it. Now that thing behind him, this is what I was interested in. That thing behind the guy. Do you guys remember Vic Reeves' Big Night Out? That guy reminds me of Les. Anyway, that's a call back there. That thing behind him is not some sort of like modern art. It's actually a live video picture of a camera that is hooked up to that binocular microscope he's working on. And we could all stand there and watch him like cleaning up and working on tiny, tiny little watch parts. And it was really amazing. So I watched that for a bit. And then I had another look around and I saw some other stuff. What else did I see? Not that. Let's go to the slideshow. Right. Before I go into the thing I saw that inspired me to create a segment for tonight, I'm going to show you this. There. Now, you may recognize that as the backdrop for one of my show flyers or show posters. And in fact, there's another one I used. And believe it or not, although, you can probably tell already, these were all AI generated. I put a few prompts into an AI generating program. Actually, it was a website. It was Bing Image Creator, which, again, the link is in the description there. And I mean, maybe it was laziness, maybe it was experimentation. I'd like to say it was just experimentation. But I generated the last 8 shows posters or backdrops or icons using the Bing AI. There's another one. I mean, there's an AI style that I think we're getting used to now. You can sort of tell that there's that something as sort of like plasticky and slightly uncanny looking like that is not legit. It's not an actual photo. For a start, what the hell kind of camera would have a projection reel on the top like that? Let me get my hand there. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's no kind of camera. That's an AI's idea of a camera. Oh, I didn't put my gloves on. Don't attempt anything without the gloves. So, yeah, had a bit of fun, Did let the computer do a bit of work for me, as is my natural kind of laziness. Noptop says, I'm amazed at how bad AI is at recreating cameras. Yeah, it's weird. Well, cameras are kind of like the enemy to AI, aren't they? I mean, the real cameras, because all of these images were obviously generated without a camera. And although it's called BENS Camera Show, I'm interested in any process which generates an image. And down the absolute other end of the scale to AI created images is something like this, a medieval illuminated manuscript, which was obviously hand drawn by a monk something like 1,000 years ago. And that's a very nice, I don't know, it's a picture of some sort of saint with a long beard holding a lamb. And he's standing by a river. He's looking a bit concerned. Um, so yeah, I mean, this was obviously made. This was a photograph I took of a book of a medieval manuscripts at this art show, and I thought, well, this would have taken, hundreds of hours maybe for some dead monk to create. Obviously, he was alive at the time, but and I thought, well, what about if we put this through the whole AI filter and see what happens? So what I did, I used something called, let me get the name of it here, right? Medieval image describes it being image creator. So what I did is that I tried to describe, without showing a picture, I tried to describe this illuminated manuscript to Bing Image Creator and see what it came up with. So the text I used was medieval illuminated manuscript depicting an old man with long hair and a white beard. He has a sad look on his face and is holding a lamb. He is standing on a hilly landscape beside a river. That was my description of the guy. So I entered that prompt into Bing and it came up with this, which, it's not a million miles away, really. I mean, let's see them side by side there. Yeah. It's an interesting kind of evolution from this to this. I mean, the AI is it looks nice. It looks kind of smooth. In fact, it looks a bit too good because these illuminated manuscripts, people look bloody weird in them in a different way that AI looks weird. So I thought, well, let's have a look, and that's the result of that. So let's look at another one. I took a picture of, and my God, what the hell's going on here? I don't know. I assume it's a saint of some sort, because if you write Jesus into AI as an AI prompt, it goes a bit funny about it. But look at this picture that the medieval monk did. It's got these kind of red angels playing horns right beside his face. I guess this is Isaiah, because one eye's higher than the other. Look at this arm coming all the way down here. He's got rainbows coming out of his robes. He's standing on some kind of hoverboard. And these guys are coming out of the ground and they're looking up his dress and going, oh, praise the Lord, or whatever. I don't know what this monk was thinking about, but it's a hell of an image. In fact, look, his feet are kind of like displaced from his robes. Maybe he's sitting on a chair. He's got a chair hidden under there. Anyway, he's a bit thin. Looks like he could use a bit of a feed. So could I after this. So, I wrote for this one, I described this to Bing thusly. I wrote, medieval illuminated manuscript showing a saint standing on a ball with rainbows coming out of his robes. Some red angels play trumpets near his head. Below him are people coming out of trapdoors in the ground. I've just read Remjet's comment. Classic Jesus upskirt. I don't know if he's Jesus. He doesn't, with these medieval guys, they were very keen on detail. If they showed Jesus, he usually had a wound in his side and holes in his hand. So I don't know what's going on. Could it be Ezekiel? Doesn't the first chapter of Ezekiel have some really weird kind of like UFO kind of stuff? Anyway, so I took that and I gave it to Bing, and Bing came out with this, which I love it. It's mental. It's mental in a completely different way than the medieval manuscript. I mean, you got these guys here who are all like, I don't know, that's obviously where the rainbow ends. The rainbow's not really coming out of his robe, but Bing just had the rainbow coming out from sort of behind him. The red angels with trumpets, very nice. They look very suitably medieval. These guys are like looking out the scene and saying, yeah, I don't know about this. Maybe we'll go back underground for a bit. I don't know. It's mental. Anyway, so let's see those side by side. Yeah. I mean, just the amount of, basically it took about 10 seconds, maybe less, for it to come up with this from the prompt I gave it. I reckon the abbot of the monastery would have probably, he wouldn't have approved of this at all, because the monks would do all their job in 10 minutes and then they'd be off, making wine or whatever. Anyway, so let's look at another one. Oh my God, what the hell is going on here? This is a great one. I mean, when these guys went for skeletons, they really went for it. So here's a skeleton. He's got this thing around his neck. Now, I thought that was a black snake. looking back on it, I think it might be some sort of robe that's got twisted up. I'm not quite sure what it is. He's holding this coffin, which is ridiculously narrow, and he's talking to these priests, looking who look pretty freaked out by the whole thing. Let's look a close up on there. Yeah, they're like, oh dear, they're not happy at all. I think what's gone on is that this guy's come out of the grave, and he said to them, "Listen, mates, how dare you bury me in a 1 foot wide coffin? How the hell am I supposed to rest in peace with that to lie in, and I've got to have my snake in there as well. So it's just not on. So I want you to take these tools, dig a proper grave, make a nice coffin, get me back underground, and I'm going to mess you up from the other side if you don't do that very quickly." Hey, Cecil DeVille. Hi there, Ben, he says. And hello, Cecil. So, and also I noticed the first thing I thought when I saw this bit, this cross-hatching, was that I thought, oh, those monks, they forgot to enable the layer underneath. And they've put this out with our, because, I'm used to Photoshop and stuff. So then I realized, no, they didn't have Photoshop. They didn't have computers. They just manually cross-hatched all this bit here. So what did I tell Bing this was? I described it like this. I said, illuminated manuscript style, a skeleton with a black snake wrapped around it carries a long, narrow coffin and grave digging tools and shows it to a group of horrified clerics, which I thought was pretty accurate, So, and this, it came up with a few, Bing, and I have to show you all of them because they're all bloody amazing. That was the first one. Yes. Oh, I like that. I like that very much. These guys, these guys are properly freaked out, and the snake looking kind of angry as well. He's taking care of these people behind. There seems to be some, maybe that's the skeleton's partner or something they put in the same grave. Well, whatever's going on, I don't know. Let's see another one. Same prompt. The skeleton plus snake plus coffin and a bunch of really horrified archbishops there. Let's look at another one. They are fun to mess around with these. I like this one. I like this one because not only has the skeleton taken one of their hats, but he's making them carry the coffin as well. So yeah, that's that. You don't mess with a skeleton, do you? And the snake is, making sure that no one's getting up to anything behind his back. Let's see another one while we're here. Let's. What's the next one? Oh yeah. Oh, that's a bit more, medievalish looking. What have we got here? Oh, and that's those two side by side. So I thought, well, that's all very fun and everything, but there's still a human in the mix, and that's me. I'm giving my subjective viewpoint, my prompt based on this, and telling the AI what to do. However, there exists a thing which will do the image thing in reverse. So you give it a prompt first, and then it will come up with the description of it. And again, I've put the link down in the description. I used something called Astica. I didn't, shop around. I just found whatever was free. And it would seem that nowadays, now Astica seem to have, they've stopped giving out freebies, which was kind of annoying. But this is what I managed to do before I got cut off at the Astica descriptive vision. I had to start the ball rolling somewhere. And because I was doing a poster for your and my favorite film show, Exploding Cinema, I just told Bing Image Creator Exploding Cinema, just to give us a prompt. And it came up with this, which is, whoa, my goodness. That's really mental. That would take a proper artist, a live artist, a pretty long time to put together. And another one it came up with was this, just completely. Bing must have took the brown acid or something. Interesting that it's very bad at creating text, which I thought was interesting. Another one here. So I like this one the most. I think this one just has got a sort of a mental. I liked these kind of weird alien monsters here. So I gave that to Astica. And let's see. Hey, Daggy's in the house. Hi, Daggy. So I said, that's what Bing gave me when I said Exploding Cinema. And so I sent that to Astica and I said, describe this image. And here is what Astica said, and I'm going to do it in a voice, so you know it's. I'm going to 1, 2. There we go. Okay. So when I'm talking in this thing, this is the AI talking. All right. Here's the AI. So here's what it said. It said, this image shows a movie theater at night illuminated by colorful neon signs and decorations. The building is black with teal accents, and the sign on the front of it reads movie theater in red letters. No, it doesn't. In the foreground, there is a car with a colorful interior featuring green and blue tires. To the right of the car, there are several windows that make up part of the storefront. Further back in the scene, there is an interesting painting featuring shades of red and purple. On top of all this, 2 dinosaurs can be seen standing atop the movie theater sign as if they were guarding it. All these elements come together to create an exciting atmosphere that will surely draw people in for some fun entertainment. That's a very AI kind of description, isn't it? So, yeah, so that's what it said for this. I'm interested that it thought they were dinosaurs. Anyway, so we wanted to create a bit of a feedback loop here. So I took that text from Astica and I gave it back to Bing. And I told Bing, create an image using this text. I didn't tell Bing it came from an AI. And Bing came up with this, which is, it's a bit stripped down, but it's a similar kind of scene. They've said exploding cinema instead of exploding. Bing put the dinosaurs up there, and there's a car in front of the cinema as well. So what did I do? Well, I sent that picture. This was another one that came up with, because when you do with Bing, it gives you 4 pictures. So some were better than others. I basically, I selected them based on how well it managed to recreate exploding cinema. So I took the one with the clearest, closest to exploding cinema on the roof, and I sent this picture back to Astica. Another iteration here, bit of Hall of Mirrors thing going on, and I told Astica to describe this picture, to which it said this image shows a car parked outside of a building at night. The car is painted in bright colors, with the hood being pink and blue. There is also a dinosaur standing on its hind legs near the car. In front of the building, there is an illuminated neon sign with red letters that reads Exploding Cinema. On either side of the entrance to the building are 2 more cars parked in front. To the right of these cars, there is some kind of rock or stone structure. Rock or stone structure. Interesting. It should harp on that. So I took that description. Round we go again. I sent that to Bing. We're going back and forth about 4 times here. This side towards the screen says AI font is horrible. Yeah, damn right. So I gave that description back to Bing, and it came up with this. Not a lot has changed, but there's a couple of very, very subtle things here which will be relevant in the next couple of pictures. So the dinosaur's still there, the cars. There's a little dinosaur. There's a rock here. There's a something is in the background here above this plant. Now that's very important. Old Rio says, do you know about using LoRa's? No, I don't. I'm sure there's tons and tons of these AIs out there now. I just took whichever was free and high up on Google. Anyway, so Astica took this picture, and it said, a dinosaur statue standing in front of an old movie theater statue. The building is painted with bright colors, and the entrance is framed by 2 large columns. In front of the theater are several cars parked in a driveway, including one that has been painted with rainbow colors. To the right, there is also a small plant growing near some rocks. On top of this, there is a blue hat resting on a red surface. Above it hangs an illuminated neon sign reading Exploding Cinema. Now, I think I corrected that. I think it said something like shop rather than Exploding Cinema, but I corrected it to Exploding because I wanted to keep that as a sort of a bit of a human interference on the way. So a blue hat resting on a red surface. I thought it was talking about this, but then I see through this, there's a tiny little detail there. It's a red thing and then something blue in there, which it's weird it would pick up on that. Anyway, and it says it's a dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur, it's a dinosaur statue. So I sent that description back to Bing, and it came back with this. Now, what have we got here? exploiting cinema. Yeah, good try. You got your dinosaur. It's got the cars. The cars are looking very retro now. And here's the blue hat. It is now incorporated a blue hat and a red surface here in the picture. So now a blue hat. It's a bit like a genetic mutation. You know, a little mistake that gets put into the mix and then just gets replicated. So on the same batch of images, it came up with this. Again, big dinosaur this time. And the blue hat on the red surface, very, very prominent there. And another one here, same kind of deal. There's a rainbow car, sort of. But I had to select the next card, the next picture to send back to Astica because Bing, he put the hat on the dinosaur, which I love. So we can now have a dinosaur with a hat on it. Text is whatever the hell's going on there. Also, this shape here is of interest here. So let's read what Astica said about this image. It said, this image shows a large dinosaur statue standing in front of a building with several cars parked in the foreground. The dinosaur is painted black and white, which is interesting because I guess you could say that's black and white with some green light. And it has its mouth open wide as if roaring. Its eyes are yellow and it stands on two legs with its tail curved up behind it. In the background, it's funny, all those details about like its color and its roaring and its never mention the hat. Anyway, in the background there is a movie theater sign that reads cinema in red letters against a blue background. Gone colorblind now. To the left of the statue are three cars, one green, one pink, and one blue, all with their hoods painted differently from each other. Further to the left is another car which appears to be a taxi cab due to its yellow color scheme. On the right side of the image there is an elephant-shaped sign that reads welcome. Well, that's kind of elephant-shaped, but it doesn't say welcome at all. In addition to this scene, there is also a broccoli plant growing near one of the cars at the bottom center of the frame. I guess it must mean this. Broccoli, it's definitely not a broccoli plant, but hey, you know, AI thinks it's broccoli, so that's the new reality. The sky above them is all bright blue with some clouds scattered throughout it. So, no more hat, dinosaur, just, yes, cars, elephant-shaped sign saying welcome. Don't know what that's about. So, I sent that description to Bing. I thought, what the hell is Bing going to make of that? Well, here's what Bing made of that. It's a big black and white dinosaur, giant broccoli behind it, and there's the elephant. Nothing that says welcome. There are the cars. The blue hat is gone. So in a bit the same way as DNA replication, the mutation has now somehow been sort of corrected out. But now we've got broccoli to deal with. Here's another from the same set. There's broccoli in a pot, broccoli behind the dinosaur. Dinosaur is very, very prominent here. And finally this one. And lastly, my favorite, this one. Now, yes, Daggy, the broccoli. I mean, what the hell's going on? I do not know. I did not send this back to... We've been through, what, 4 or 5 iterations now? I didn't send this back to Astica because at this point, I developed an absolutely splitting headache. And I don't know if it's because of the AI. I don't know if it's because I'm trying to drag my brain into places where it was not welcome. I like to think the latter. There's a great sci-fi story about a guy who's a research scientist, and he gets more and more kind of suicidal the closer he gets to a really important bomb he's creating. I can't remember. Maybe it's Philip K. Dick. Anyway, so he finally makes the breakthrough, and while everyone's celebrating, he runs out and kills himself because he felt that his brain had just entered a realm of knowledge that humans weren't supposed to be privy to. So I got a little bit of that in my own head, and so what's interesting is if we look at the fourth iteration of AI on AI description, and look at the original. Here's our original again, and that was being just given the description exploding cinema. And that's after 4 iterations. And this kind of looks slightly less less accomplished in a way, less detailed, and with fewer elements in the shot. It's almost like this looks like Toy Story 1, and that's like Toy Story 4, which is interesting because it's like the more you bat a concept back and forth between AI, the more the AIs kind of reduce everything to their simplest basic elements. So you got car, dinosaur, broccoli, elephant, exploding cinema. And that's pretty much just 5 elements, which it's sort of boiled it all down to that. Well, that's an interesting thing about AIs. And one of you said, imagine AI in the year 2036. Yeah, I literally can't. I mean, I'm imagining, something like you'll just sit down and say TV on, and there won't even be a channel switching button on your remote anymore. It'll just start playing stuff which it wants you to see, or it thinks you want to see. So yeah, very interesting project there. And I will try not to, I'll try not to utilize any of these in Exploding Cinema's literature or design, because it just feels like such a cheat to do it. Old Radio says you got to put in best quality, masterpiece, high quality. Barry says maybe the T-Rex is vegan. Yeah, or maybe he's not vegan, which is why he's so pissed off that he's surrounded in broccoli and he can't eat the elephant sculpture. So yeah, I advise you all to get on top of this and get ahead of it as soon as possible. Otherwise, the AI will basically outflank us and then just start creating stuff without us realizing that's what it is. So yeah, keep up to date with what that AI is doing, because I'm not sure if it's got our best interests at heart. Great. So there we go. That's AI. Now, while we're talking about Exploding Cinema, Old Ray says, I know a bit about this stuff. Send me, contact me privately. And I don't know, if you've got a password or something for one of those like Mid-Journey or one of those things that costs money. I mean, if this is what can do free, imagine what it can do when you pay money. Probably, I mean, if you see adverts out in the underground these days, you can tell straight away which one they've done on the cheap with the with AI. Aldrich says, I use automatic 1111 for Mac, or is that 1111? Maybe I'll try that. Is it just for Mac? I've been using it for on my PC in Adobe Photoshop. It's got AI elements now. But let's talk about something else there. So, without just going on about Exploding Cinema constantly, because this is a segue to something relevant to cameras. We wanted to do a show where we streamed it to a live audience, to people who couldn't come to the show or whatever, and we hooked it up to Zoom, and we put a webcam on the thing on the tech table, and we zoomed all the way in. We're using the webcam to the presenter at the front of the stage, and it looked like crap. It looked absolutely terrible, because we're basically doing a digital zoom on a digital picture that's not particularly high res to begin with. So what's the answer? Well, the answer has to be using a camera with a decent lens on it, because of course, if you can zoom up the picture optically before it reaches the sensor of your digital camera, then you won't be zooming digitally. You'll be zooming optically, and then the optically zoomed image will hit the sensor. And because we were experimenting with using mobile phones as our image gathering devices, I tried filming from the back of the room using a phone. Same problem really, because you zoom up the image on a mobile, what you get is a zoomed up mobile picture, video picture, which looked like arse. So what's the answer? The answer is to get a device that you can put on the front of your phone, an actual lens, which will zoom up the picture before it hits the phone. And so I got one. Hooray! What did I get? I got this. It's called a... who's it by? Apexel 20 to 40 times zoom. My goodness, that's some proper zooming here. Now I'm going to go into the side because I've got too much going on the screen to begin with. In fact, let's get the white background on and me in my little box. And we are going to we're going to look at this. And here's a phone, just to give you an idea of how big a phone is compared to this thing. Let's open that up, have a look. It comes in its own case there. And they also give you, that's an eyepiece, because as well as, let's get it out first. As well as a lens to put on your phone, you could put an eyepiece on it and use it as a little telescope. So that's all right. They also give you this, which is a clip-on thing. So you can attach this thing to your phone. And they also give you this. What the hell's that? This is the world's worst tripod. If you ever had a crappy tripod, you can relax in the fact that it's not as crap as this one. This is awful. The only good thing about it is that it folds up, but it only has one axis of movement. That's sort of forward and backward like that. There's no side to side, no rotation at all. And this doesn't go on your phone. It actually holds up the lens rather than the phone because the lens is bloody heavy. And if you try to use one of those phone brackets, which I can't show you because it's being used right now to look at this top down. By the way, this top down camera is an old phone. Old Red says must be heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy, and it's a damn problem being this heavy and this unwieldy and this big. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm going to put this away now because just the sight of it makes me sick. You'll see the kind of effect, the kind of job this thing did. But it does come with this ring here with a little tripod mounting screw on there. So you can place this thing on a tripod. The problem is that once this is on the tripod, you've got a phone hanging off the back of it. And it's only being held on by this. And this is a piece of crap. This thing... well, I'll show you. Let's attach it to my phone, and then I'll see this ridiculous situation that they land you with. So this thing goes over your camera, your phone camera. God help you if it doesn't fit into one of these holes. I think actually it goes in like that. Yeah, there we go. So you've got your two lenses. Only this one lines up with the lens. And then you have to turn this knob here, and this whole thing sort of presses right into the screen to hold it in place. And I don't know about that. Luckily, well, not luckily, but this screen has already got a crack in it, so I'm not too worried about cracking the screen. It's the screen protector rather than the screen. But it can't be good for a phone to have something like this pressing right into the screen like this. And let me tell you, you've got to put this on tight because the weight of this ridiculous lens, it doesn't, well, the lens holder doesn't quite, it's not quite fit for purpose, shall we say. So let's put that in like that. There we go. And you remember when video cameras, they started having flip out screens. So you had the body of the camera, you had a lens on the front of the camera, then you had a screen that flipped out. This is done away with the actual camera body here. Now you've just got something like this, which is it's quite sort of minimalist. You've got a cylinder and a rectangle, and that's about it. Let me show you on the camera up here. So yeah, so you're supposed to basically put this on a tripod or God help you, hand hold it, and then hold your phone here, and then do your filming. Now the problem with this whole setup, other than the crap tripod and the crap mount, and that all feeds into the general crapness of this system, is that if you're zooming up 40 times, 40, this thing goes from 20 to 40, and even 20 is a ridiculously long zoom. When you zoom up 40 times, the slightest vibration, even just walking past the tripod on the ground, kicks up vibrations that you never even realized were there. And, well, I'm going to show you some results of what this looks like. In fact, you can see one right behind me here. So, Ian Hans says, I definitely wouldn't use that clamp. Yeah, no, I should probably get some other type of clamp for that, because that's just, I don't know what they're thinking. So let's have a look at some results. Let's go into the screening room here, and let's have a look. I went to the seaside. Actually, this was where I got ill, so I had a pretty rotten weekend. Aldrio says, I got to import a Nikon R10 from Japan. There are none for sale near the work. Can we try and stay on the subject, old radios? Goodness me. Don't worry about it. I'm only messing with you. Who's talking at the back there? Anyway, so here we go. Okay, so here's a picture of just from my mobile without the long lens. There you go, the seafront. And I'm going to show you a digital zoom all the way into this part here. Looks like crap. Of course it looks like crap, because when you digital zoom a picture like that much, you're gonna have artifacts. So with the zoom on, there you see a lot better. And there I'm filming someone without their permission, but it was very difficult to sort of pan across to sort of follow anyone. Here's another one. So I zoomed in. This was the same scene from the same place, looking all the way to this part of the picture here. And that's what it looks like with the big zoom. And look at that. Look at all that vibration. Oh dear, oh dear. It's a nice shot though. I mean, long zooms from far away, you do get some really nice foreshortening. And you know, they're good fun, those things. So that was it on this on this metal balustrade with the crap tripod. So it sort of works like that, but it was very difficult. I mean, this is sea level. And, with sea level, when you got a horizon, it's quite important to get that horizon level. And it was very, very difficult to tilt this camera in one way or another that would actually work. So let's look at some video. Again, it wobbles like a son of a bitch, and it's very difficult to get it level. But, I mean, 40 times zoom, what's that? Let's get my hand back on there. That ship there is like, you can barely see it there. So, I mean, it's fun in that respect. I think for still images, you could probably do something, even though the picture is, in fact, a little bit soft. Let's look at, so there's the video, jumping up and down. And then it finally kind of stabilized, although God help you if you try and get that level. Not too bad. It is kind of soft around here, though. And it's very difficult to focus this thing. That's another thing. It's... Earthquake simulator lens, says Noptop. Yeah, there's some wind farm there. That was the most level I could get it. I was putting like a tissue. This is a nice one. That's very nice. Is that a lifeboat? Not sure. Coast Guard. But I managed to focus that all right. So yeah, I mean that's. Oh, stop it! Sorry about that. So let me show you this. So this one's focus. There's nothing on this scale that says focus. Just from this tick, 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 tick to this tick. That's how much you focus. And zoom also, similarly, you just know 20 times that's that way. If you turn it all the way to this side, it's 40 times. Here's the thing. There's no infinity stop on this thing. This, if you turn the focus all the way till it stops, or all the way till it stops in the other direction, it doesn't stop on infinity. This thing actually goes past infinity. It's trying to focus on stuff which is past infinity. I mean, what do you think you are, the James Webb Space Telescope? Anyway, sorry about that. So it's extremely difficult to find your focus. You can't start at the back and then ease it forward. So, So then I was a real glutton for punishment. This side towards me. You can almost see the ice barrier of the flat Earth. So then a real glutton for punishment. I took it on a train. And I tried to film at the longest zoom and focus on a moving train without a tripod, just holding the damn thing up to the picture, to the window, and saw what I could get. And this is what I got. Extremely wobbly, out of focus, and there was really only one piece of music I could put over the top of it, and I'm going to get myself nice and copyright struck because of this, but it just reminded me of the opening sequence of a certain TV show. Anyway, so that's how you can rescue awful footage, is slapping some great music on it. So so that is, or was, the Astica the Apexel zoom lens. I have half a mind to send it back to Amazon, really, but then again, I can see a situation where I might be able to use it if I get a better clamp. And if I put it on a tripod and maybe a second tripod for the phone, get it all locked down. I might even, and I already tried this to be honest, but it didn't do it. I tried to screw that onto, it looked a bit like a D-mount, and I tried to screw that onto my Bolex, but no luck. It's too big. It's slightly bigger than D-mount. So I might just bust out my other cameras and see what else it might fit onto. Although, you know, I'm not very optimistic, because there's things like flange depth. So I don't know if it's going to focus on the film plane anyway. So yeah, well, I'll get back to you on that one. Let me just pick up my phone. This side towards screen said, every dad in the 1980s when they got their first camcorder. Yep. Cheers. That was I wasn't a dad in the 1980s, but I had a dad in the 1980s. I still do. He just turned 80 himself. Bloody hell. I'm bloody turning into him as well. Right. It's time now for a little celebration, because it is the 50th show. It's giveaway time. Yay! I'm going to give away a couple of cameras today, which I've never done on the show before. I've threatened to, and tonight it's going to happen. What do we have going away free? Stay tuned. Firstly, we have this, which, it's an amazing 1970s Italian-made Mubi Zeta 1, which is it ties with the Halina P150 as the simplest, most plasticky Super 8 camera ever made. And it could be yours tonight. The other one I'm giving away is one I featured just recently on the show, the Fujica Zoom 8 Standard 8 camera. Lovely camera, it works, it's film tested. I didn't like it very much, hence the giveaway. So we're giving these two away tonight. Isn't this exciting? And I'm giving it away to you people. If you're watching this on the replay, you have missed the giveaway. So it's only people watching it live who are entitled to win one of these. And here are the rules. We have the Zoom. Let's do the Zoom 8 first. Yeah. Okay. So the Zoom 8. Okay. So I was wondering, like, how should I give these away? And I thought, well, maybe I'll put one on each side. Why not? Have some fun here. Oops. I thought, I'll ask some really like difficult camera related question. And then I thought, no, I won't do that, because the person who will answer the difficult camera related question probably has a whole ton of cameras already. And I don't think they deserve yet another one. So then I thought, well, let's ask a simple trivia question, or have people write stuff in the comments why I would like to own a Fujica Zoom 8 or whatever. I thought, nah, because then you got some subjective, like my judgment, and I might be playing favorites. So that's not really the way I want to do it. I don't want it to be a judge's decision is final kind of situation. So I've decided to, let's do the Fujica first. I decided to give away the Fujica to the most loyal listener tonight. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a question, and only the most loyal listeners are going to get this right, or someone who's very quick on the draw. And I want you to write the answer in the comments. We're going to use the comments as the final arbiter of who got the answer first. If it's first in the comments, then you win it. Okay? All right. So here's the question. When we started the show today, I gave a special word. What was the word? What was tonight's special word? If you weren't here at the very beginning of the show, swipe the thing back and you can replay just that bit. It was just before I put the credits on, just before I put the opening titles. It was after the countdown and before the titles. I gave you the word. And if you remember, type it in the comments. And the first one will win this unbelievably middling Fujica. Remjet, vibration. He won, or she. Well done, Remjet. Today's special word. Let's let's just check that. No. I don't want to get copyright struck again. Let's see if that was the correct word. Vibration. This is like QI. It's vibration. Yes. Remjet, you've won a camera. I bet you probably even have this one already. So close. Super Cine 100 was so close. Vibration. And yes. So there you go. If you send me your address to ben at zerobudgetfilmschool.com, give me an address to send it to, and I will send it the cheapest possible way with zero tracking. And if you live outside the UK, it's coming by ship. Right. Now, if that's got you all interested, it's time for the Moopy Zeta. Now, I'm not gonna mess around with something that will require you to watch the entire show. We're going to do this just by randomness. Yes, pure random luck is how we're going to do this. I have here a wheel of wonderfulness. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. I'm going to go into the side here. So I have a wheel here. I'm going to write and I'm going to set it up so it's got 100 numbers on it, between 1 and 100. And everyone in the comments, I want you to write a 2-digit number, or a 1-digit number, could be 1 to 10, a number between 1 and 100. And then we're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to see whose number it lands on. Now, this, of course, works only if there's 100 people on the show watching this right now, and you've all thought of numbers, exactly 1 to 100. But this isn't Germany. We're not that organized. Just write. Everyone gets one number. You can only write one number. If someone's written a number, you can't take the same number. Okay, so this is like your raffle ticket, a free raffle ticket. And we're going to spin the wheel. And if it doesn't land on someone's number, then if it lands within, say, 5 of someone's number, then they'll win. If it's not on their number. If it's nowhere near anyone's number, then we'll just spin again. Okay, so lines are open. And yes, the numbers are coming in. Daggy's number 4, Barry 21, Daggy 43. I'm going to spin the wheel just as a test here, just to make sure it's all working. And it's pointing upward, by the way. So that's the number. It's on something at 80. It'll put the number in a larger font after we win it. So here's the test spin. If this lands on your number now, then you know, what can I tell you? I'll let you change your number. So here we go. Round and round the wheel goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. And oh, it's a high number. 97. Okay, so that was the test one. Okay, and people have... Hey, this side towards screen, I like the way you think. Anyway, so I think we've got a few numbers still coming in. I'm going to give you just another few minutes because there's a lag here between me telling you to do the numbers and you actually putting the numbers on. And while there's a lag, I'll give another plug to my live show, No Off Switch, the Peculiar Comedy of BENS. That'll be on November the 13th. Film night of just my films. And that's live. And of course, Exploding Cinema tomorrow in Hastings. If you're in Hastings in England, then come to that. Right. Are we ready? I think we've got a few... Okay. Hey, do not write your number after I've done the spin. People have tried that in the past. Like I've spun it and it'll be like number, 61, and then someone will quickly write 61 in the chat. We're not playing that game. Well, as soon as this thing starts spinning, then entries are now closed. So here we go. Are we all ready? This is exciting, isn't it? For the Moopy Zeta 1. Film tested and working. Rubbish lens. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Round and round it goes. Oh, it's going to be another high number. High number? No, it's going slightly lower than last time. 86. Who got... Oh, Albert Cader got 87. And I think he's the closest. Albert, you have won a Moopy Zeta 1. And in fact, congratulations. And yes, just send me the address to ben at zerobudgetfilmschool.com. And if you're a real idiot, write it here in the comments. And we will send that over to you. Now, let's see, since it's the camera show, when we feature this a little bit more, the Moopy Zeta 1? Why not? Oops. Oh, God, you don't want to see that. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So that's the Bing image creator. Anyway, I'm getting distracted now. I should be on the Ritalin myself, shouldn't I? So let's see what... this is from a previous film that I've put about the Moopy Zeta 1. Albert says, cool, I'm sort of an Italianophile. Nice. If anyone feels a bit left out, I've seen these on eBay for £10. So there you go. Let's see some of the stuff I put up already on my channel about the Moopy Zeta. But let's check the battery compartment. Which you put... Oh, uh-oh. Oh, dear. Vidor batteries. This does not look good. I think these are some old... Oh, my God. We are in a certain amount of trouble here. You want to change your mind, Albert? Old batteries. Leaky old batteries. This is the classic what you get inside these old cameras. And I'm going to have to try and get them out and see exactly how much trouble we are in. Oh. Okay. All right. I do not hold up much hope for this. Don't leave batteries in your camera, people. This is what happens. Yeah. Okay. Vidor high power HP7 batteries. They are going straight into the recycling bin. Worth it. Oh no, there's 2 more batteries in here. Even crapper ones. Oh man, why do people do it? Why do they do it? Why do they put their cameras away for years and years with the battery in? Maybe they died. 4 batteries in this little bastard, and they're all gone. Ugh. Don't worry, I cleaned it. Before, after. Working camera, fucked up camera. Language. Well, I cleaned out the battery compartment as best I could. I filed down the contact a bit. Anyway, well, let's try it. You never know. Ah! Good God, the bloody thing works. What do you know about that? Whoa! It's got a hair trigger, this thing. Sounds a bit like a model train or something. And look at this. Apart from the trigger, The only thing it has is this very basic aperture control. So if you turn that up and down, I think, yeah, look at that. Wide open indoors, wide open outdoors for those rainy days, for those bit of cloud cover, and finally your sunny 16 right here. That is basically fantastic. A piece of metal with holes punched in it. The thing works. Wow, I'm going to try some 500T in this and see what happens. Oh, this is quite a nice design. If you push, there's under the trigger, there's this little slider thing. If you push it up, trigger's locked, can't accidentally do it. And if you push the trigger down and then slide it, it's on all the time. There we go. So you can quick run in front of the camera. Film yourself.
Kodak 500T.
Here's some results.
Looks like in these cameras. 500T is of course a very fast film, good in low light. Don't know how much light these cameras are going to be letting in. And the other thing I should say is that I've slowed down this film digitally, so I've got more time to see what's going on. I only took a second or two using each camera because if I'm just testing it, I don't even need to shoot a whole roll of film. Just a few seconds will do. Let's start off with the Moopy Zeta 1. Moopy with a P, not a B, like I was calling it a Mooby all the time. It's because of their weird logo. It looks like a Mooby. So the Moopy Zeta 1, it works. There's a weird black thing at the top. I don't know what that is. Probably some crud in the gate. Otherwise, the gate's pretty clean. And it's kind of more focused in the center than on the edges. I mean, what do you want? It's a tiny little lens on a fixed focus camera. It works. This is with the filter on. I did a few shots here outside. Now this is with the minimum aperture. We're opening up a bit more, opening up a bit more, and finally with the filter off. As you can see, it's a little bit softer. The picture's a little bit softer when the iris is wide open.
There you go. So you know how they say in aviation, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Well, any camera that get that off. Any camera that will run film through is a good camera. So that's the Moopy. Let's see if it still works. Certainly does. Great fun. It's very light. That's something, you know, you can stick it in a bag and whatever. Anyway, so that's going to Albert. Now, I'm just going to replay a bit of footage from the Fujica Zoom 8. If Daggy says, I like the blurry vignette. Yeah, it's a bit like an effect, isn't it? One of those nice lenses that gives a bit of softness around the edge. So let's see some footage from the Fujica Zoom 8. This is I showed this a couple of weeks ago, but let's just see it again. Here is the unholy thing called the Hokey Cokey in our road, which I took a film of. Should we put some music on? So yeah, the Fujica Zoom 8 works. That's a Ormo UN54 film. And yeah, did a perfectly good job. I stabilized this image because I don't know, for some reason the scan was all unstable. Great, and that's going to Remjet. Stabilization went really weird here. I don't know if that's if that's something we should really do. Really stabilization post production of standard 8 or Super 8 footage. Well, what am I? I'm not a philosopher. Anyway, Remjet says, Ben, don't forget to sign the camera before you send it. Oh my God! If you want me to sign like with a Sharpie or something. Okay, I mean it'll bugger your resale value unless you remove it with isopropyl alcohol. My goodness me! It's 8:05 already. That looks like we're sliding in to the film show for tonight. Hooray! Yes, and tonight we have some interesting footage. Let me get stuff ready. Maybe I can talk while I do this. So firstly, let's go to the screening room and switch on the DSLR. So yeah, because we're getting close to Halloween, and because I'm probably going to be because I'm probably going to be off the air for Halloween itself, I thought let's have our spookiness now. Let's do our spooky film tonight. And so what I've got is an absolute classic, a blinder, a film called... Oh, you can't even see me. There we go. It's called Dracula. Yes, it's the original Dracula. It's not the original Dracula. What am I saying? This is the 1979 Dracula. Let me get that on the screen a bit better. There we go. Why did I just put it down there? Okay, so yes, this was a film called Dracula: A Love Story, which was made in 1978 and had an all-star cast, like 2 extremely heavy-hitting actors in it. You'll find out in a second. And well, what's interesting about this reel is that it seems to be some kind of promotional reel, because before the film starts, usually when they condense a film, a Hollywood, like a feature film down to nice emoji, Daggy. When they condense a feature film down to like one roll of Super 8 or 200 feet or 400 feet, whatever, Super 8, they cut all the scenes down and the film just gets straight into it. They don't mess around in these Super 8 edits of films. This one seems to be some kind of promo film, because before Dracula even gets going, well, I'll show you. Suffice to say, they waste a lot of time. All right, give us a second. I gotta fire up the projector. The old Elmo. Now this is a sound film. This is a sound film. So with any luck, we will get the sound coming through. It took me half the day to hook this up to my system. So fingers crossed. Here we go. Dracula. Oops.
I'm Walter Mirisch. I want to tell you why I was so eager to produce a new version of Dracula and why I'm now so enthusiastic about the film. The principal reason is, of course, Frank Langella.
Frank Langella said, yeah, Barry, you guessed it.
The portrayal of Dracula that he created on the New York stage. He charmed me and huge audiences in the smash success that has by now played across the whole country and started the amazing revival of interest in the Dracula legend.
Whoever thought Frank Langella was
As Frank
Dracula?
plays him, Dracula is captivating, intelligent, and sensual. He lives and loves as a human, and then becomes all the more terrifying.
It's totally faded, this film. Every color's gone.
Human incarnations.
It's got a severe case of the
Frank,
the red
there's
tint.
Laurence Olivier as Professor Van Helsing.
Laurence Olivier's in this
Dracula's
bloody
great
film.
antagonist.
And
Olivier brings humanity,
he's awful.
dedication,
He's
and
got this
obsession to
stupid
his
accent
performance.
throughout.
This story and these 2 great stars required an outstanding director. And we found him in the person of John Badham.
John
A
Badham.
greatly talented young man who last did Saturday Night Fever.
Who knows what else John Badham directed?
Rick Richter, who only recently wrote
Don't go on
Invasion of the Body
IMDb.
Snatchers, contributed a brilliant screenplay. And from the genius of John Williams,
John
who
Williams!
composed Star Wars, Close Encounters, and Superman, has come a most exciting musical score.
I bet they thought this was going to
The
hit
combination
big.
of all these talents has made Dracula human, erotic, comedic, and finally terrifying.
Well, you'd know erotic, mate.
Someone recently said this is the year of Dracula. Well, I sincerely believe that our film is the Dracula of the year, and I trust of all time.
Ah, he wrote a book. John Badham directed War Games. And, he directed War Games. He also directed Short Circuit, some real 80s classics. Oh, nice. I don't know if we're going to watch the entire thing, but it's the problem is it just looks cheap and kind of TV-like. And
Dracula.
Here we go. Here's Richard Nixon himself.
Good evening. Miss Seward.
Good evening, Count.
Dr. Seward. Miss Van Helsing.
See,
My seat.
Frank Langella was not a bad-looking guy when he was young. You know, you all know him as this big, blobby, chinless guy, but
So, you've come to England, Count, to settle down.
anyway.
To settle down? No, hardly that. I've come to wander through the crowded streets of London, or to be here, in the midst of the whirl and rush of humanity.
I'm going to remember that response. It's
It's death.
Disco Dracula. Anyway, look, I don't know if we can show the entire thing. Old Ray says, better than Dracula 2000. Well, was that the one with Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum? Oh, was that Transylvania 2000, which I didn't see. It's a legendarily rubbish film, and I know it looks out of focus. I tried really hard to get. It's just grain, and the DSLR doesn't like the grain. It's very difficult to focus on grain. Anyway, that's he's doing the old Batman climbing up the window. Anyway, look, we're gonna end it here. Well, we're gonna end it soon. I'll just yeah, I've taken down the volume because it's just. I mean, John Williams, he wrote the Star Wars theme, and this is like the least effort I think he ever put into a score. This isn't the score, anyway. Yeah, Dracula Dead and Loving It. I saw that on a coach once. I think it was in some Balkan language, and it did not impress. Very sad that Mel Brooks made such an awful film. I was not, Leslie Nielsen did some real crap when he wasn't doing the Naked Gun films. Sorry to say. That's what's his name? That's Blofeld. Donald Pleasance. Yeah, Donald Pleasance with a beard. He's already bald. I mean, some really serious acting talent in this. And it looks like a not even Hammer, but like one of Hammer's competitors, whatever that was called. Bat. I mean, really? Anyway. Listen, everyone. It's been a great show. Much better than 2 weeks ago. Or much better than last week. And that was the end of season 5 of Ben's Camera Show. And I've got to say, I'm very happy with the technical quality of this season. I think I haven't got any catastrophic audio or video failures, and I want to thank you all for joining me for these last 8 shows. I know there was a bit of a hiatus before. There will be a hiatus after this. I've got to stop making these camera shows. I think 50 is a good time to stop. Stopping for a while, not forever. I may still come on and stream on Thursday evenings, but just do other stuff. And I will definitely be preparing stuff for season 6, because I've got about 10 more episodes of ideas for the next season. But with my live show and with Exploding and with other stuff going on in my life, and the fact that I've used up all my material getting this season finished, means that I'm going to be doing a hiatus now. I may come back before Christmas. More likely the camera show will be back in the new year. But tune in Thursdays at 7, because if I've got anything to show you, whether it's camera related or anything else, or just to hang out and chat more with y'all, then that will be when I will be coming on. Sort of Thursday evenings, I think. If not, I will... and of course, go to Instagram and all of those social media stuff, and I'm always updating those with what I'm up to and what I'm going to be up to. Great. All right. Excellent. Yes, as this side towards screen says, smash that like button. Thanks everyone for joining me, and congratulations to the 2 who won cameras. Oh, look at all these nice comments. Super Cine says, thanks for a great season. Have fun exploding the cinema. And Ulrius, I'll try and guide you to nice AI sites. Like I said, Ben at zerobudgetfilmschool.com is my email address, and at zerobudgetfilmschool.com, I think there might be a link to my Facebook. You know where to find me. I'm around. Anyway, hey, thanks for tuning in, Daggy. Thanks for tuning in, Old Radios. Thanks for tuning in, Super Cine 100. This side towards screen, Remjet, Barry, Noptop, and Laurence Olivier. Yes, and there we go. They should re-release this as Richard Nixon: The Early Years, and try and do it in a double bill with Frost Nixon, and see if anyone's taken in by that. Great. Okay, I'll see you all in a while. Tune in. Have a look next Thursday. I don't know. Keep your notification button on, because I might just come on and if I'm playing a particularly gnarly session of Grand Theft Auto, who knows? You can join me for that, and we'll just hang out. Anyway, till next time. Oh, last minute tip. White vinegar is good for clean battery in your camera. Yeah, I use that, and baking soda and everything else. And don't worry, the Moopy Zeta is cleaned up and working. And I'm going to put vinegar on my floors as well.